All right, grasshoppers. It is 2 o'clock. Excuse me, I'm all choked up here. It is 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. And there's nobody there. It's dead silence. There's nobody out there in the world. What's happening? What's happening to everybody else? All right, so we're trying to make this a more regular show again, the 2 o'clock Thursday. We did our third version of Full Change was launched today. Clint Malarchuk. I know it's our podcast, but I tell you, it wasn't us. It was more Clint Malarchuk, great storyteller, fantastic stories to tell. Sad in some ways, the stuff that's happened to him, but he's turned himself into quite a man helping other people. And honey, Ira, you called me honey. Oh, my goodness, Ira. There's Mimsy. What's happening, Mimsy? So we're going to have that little guy, Tom Smith. Who's the guy? Is Larry David the bald guy? And he's got like the hair hanging down the sides. That's what Tom Smith looks like, just in case anybody wanted to know. Kathy, how are you? Good to see you. Ira, we want Larry Melnick. Listen, first of all, you just don't know what it's like to deal with Larry. I guess you do. You've seen some of it. We actually did a version of Full Change with him as well. He's pretty good. He's actually very funny. But to deal with him, so now we've shifted. Well, now we shifted. Before, the only communication with him was email, which is very aggravating. So now it's email. He's added WhatsApp to it. But when I call him, it actually acts like he doesn't know who I am. It's like, oh, so it's it's just to deal with him. It's Jesus. Tom, you're the only bald guy. So funny. That's so funny. No. Like a rock. There we go. Here we are. Here we go. Thomas, you're my friend. Oh, good. Well, I know that. It's just, I guess it's a communication thing with Larry. That's what I'm trying to get across to people so they understand. All right, here comes Tom Smith. Hopefully he doesn't say bad things. He knows we're live. Mr. Smith, how are you? We are live.
Mr. Laidlaw, hello.
In front of thousands of people. Is Larry David the guy with the bald head on top and long hair on the sides? Is that?
Yes.
You kind of look like Larry David. I was thinking about it.
I think that's an insult.
Why?
I mean, he's a genius and all.
He's a successful man, yeah.
I'm not quite there yet. See, you bald guys, you just...
What? What is...
I think you had that one teed up for a while, didn't you?
No, actually, I was just getting on the show about 15 minutes ago, and I thought, okay, I got to find out. So I went online, I did a search and said, bald guys with long hair on the side.
Wow.
And Larry David's name came up. So,
wow, that's what we've come to. This is a bad day. We had a great launch last week,
right?
But now I need a microphone.
No, you're good. We can hear you.
We're number 2 in Spain. We lost the title.
Oh, okay. So we got to get into this. Okay, so they have this thing called Chartable. So our podcast has had 3 episodes now. We had Pierre LaRouche first, Mick Vukota was second, and today was Clint Malarchuk. Okay, so we started off of all the 250 hockey podcasts in the USA. We started off at number 50 on the first show.
Yep.
But we were number 1 in Spain. So we owned Spain. That's one of the things. You take it, and whether it's relevant or not, you just run with it, right? Like we are number 1. Now we slipped to number 2.
We did. We slipped to 2. So we have work to do. We have to get our game up in Spain. So
who jumped ahead of us?
It was actually a Ranger podcast.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. So
we got to work at it.
We do. We have work to do. We definitely need our people to subscribe and
right.
Download our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
Again, today, like I said, we had Clint Malarchuk, which was like a really powerful, funny, but also powerful episode. Yeah. And that was a good joke. That was a good chirp about the Larry David. I like that one. If people listen, the Clint Malarchuk, they'll learn is actually a horse dentist now.
Right.
And he gave a critique of your teeth, right? Your
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it went. I think that you started trouble. It's talking about my teeth. My teeth are fantastic. I paid for these.
They did, but where's the horse that you got them from?
No. Nice try, Larry. We're not going to go that. Your name is Larry from now on.
Yeah. I saw Larry Melnick I saw he commented on something, and he was on. He was great.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. He was good. He was really funny on the show. Yeah. Started telling the story. At one point there, he started telling the story. And he forgot where He's done that a few times. Listen, people, it's not me, it's Thomas that has the communication problem. Okay.
That's
But it's one of those things, though, that hold on. Let me see here. Did Tom dress appropriately?
Yeah. So he's wearing black again. See, like,
but when I watch the show later, it doesn't look that bad because of the design on the background.
You're wearing black on black. You look again like a floating head.
But when you listen carefully, Larry. When you go back and look at it in the show, it's fine because of the design on the background.
First of all, I look nothing like Larry David. You could do better than that, man.
I think it's a compliment that he's an intelligent, successful man.
Do you remember the Planet of the Apes movie when they like living in that nuclear radiation and they take their hoods off? That you kind of look like that right now, just like this head, this nuclear addled head.
I don't think so at all. I put a lot of thought into my dress and felt like, no, this is the appropriate one to wear.
Your thought is black or gray. What am I going to go with? Okay, I'll go with black because I'm on a black background.
Right, definitely. All right, so full change. We don't want to have Larry on the show too long here, Larry David. So we really wanted to promote the show Full Change.
That doesn't even work.
What's that?
That your chirp it's falling flat.
What?
It doesn't work.
I think it's a compliment. Larry David is a successful, creative man. That's your role here on this. Like I'm the eye candy. Your role is to be the producer and the show, right?
Wow, this is going in a direction.
What? Isn't that? I thought that's what we already had determined.
No, it's clear, obviously. You know, but you got to stop wearing black shirts, man. You can't wear black shirts on camera.
It's kind of what they call like the signature dress. It's like some people have certain things that they.
Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Is that you? That's Star Wars.
Bruce Levine, good one. He's calling you Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin.
When he gets all burned up. Yes.
Oh man, I don't know who Anakin Skywalker. I'll have to look that up.
So anyone watching, Tom doesn't watch TV or movies, or listen to music, or do anything like.
I listen to music, country music, yes, and I watch YouTube. I educate myself. Johnny Cash. There you are. There you go. You're Johnny Cash. Oh, am I Johnny Cash because of all black or
Men in Black? Yes.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Anakin Skywalker is good one. I'll have to show you. Look that up. I'll have to show you.
I look like Anakin Skywalker. Okay, good. Well, who are some other bald people that have the long hair on the side that look like Larry David? Come on, there's got to be more.
Larry David looks like no, it's not even close.
Oh, here's another one for you. Tom more like a Chewbacca without alopecia. Alopecia. I got a glow.
You do have a glow. It's nice lighting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, you've seen the setup here. It's because I take care of my skin, all right?
No, listen, I don't want to throw you too many compliments because you do that enough for yourself, but you have nice skin.
Thank you. I work at it too.
Yeah. You do.
Sea moss, collagen peptides.
You get lots of facials, right?
No, I do not get facials. Actually, they wanted me to go to the infrared sauna. We had this discussion on yesterday's show when I was going to go, and I looked online. These are all places like where you get your nails done and lip jobs and all that kinds of stuff. I'm not walking in one of those places.
Wow. Right. What's going to happen? Go get the sauna.
What's that?
Go get the sauna. Enjoy yourself.
No, I'm not walking into one of those places where like creams and stuff all over the place. Yeah, maybe it touches me. Like some of those facial creams touch me or something.
That's the point.
Well, but I'm going in there for infrared sauna. I'm not going in there to get my lips redone.
Holy cow. Help us out here, people. And please help us out by listening to the podcast, subscribing to it. That's important.
Right. We've got to be number one again. Our goal is to be number one. We were number one in Spain when we started. We dropped to number 2. We need to fix that.
We did. That definitely hurt because that was a market that we had targeted from day one. We're like, we have to dominate Spain.
I'd like to figure that out. How did we get to be number 1 in Spain after 2 shows? Or was it one show?
It was one show.
One show.
So I guess they really like Pierre LaRouche. Well, you call him Pepe, so maybe I don't know why.
He's got the darker skin, maybe a little bit of a Spanish look to him.
But maybe that's why. Maybe he's got a big following in Barcelona. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, we got to get that title back.
Yeah.
And then we got to move up the U.S. charts too. We had a great start for a new show.
Right. Yes, it was very cool. Yeah. Again, so after the first show, we were number 50 out of 250 in USA for a hockey podcast. And we'll see how the Larry Melnick show goes. You know, it's like he was very entertaining.
He was great. He was very funny. He was great. He had good stories.
Right.
Yes. And we'll talk about the time he took on Dave Brown at center ice at the Garden.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. That's all he talks about. He actually got a new car. He sent the picture to me. He wants me to come up there and go for a ride with him. It's a red car, for God's sakes. Like, who drives a red car?
He wants you to invite him to New York, and you just don't do it. That's what, because him and I have been talking now, and
okay.
He's waiting for that
here's how the history of that goes. So I single-handedly, for last year's golf tournament, it was last year's golf tournament, Ranger Golf Tournament, Westchester Country Club, single-handedly, that's all by myself, unilaterally, got him invited. Put him in touch with Jackie DiPiazza, the wonderful Jackie DiPiazza, to figure out the details, and he backed out.
Larry, is that true?
Yes, very accurate. Totally true. Yeah, I would not lie. I would not lie when it comes to Larry Melnick.
Well, he wants to be invited back. He wants to come up to the True Grit Studios and see the operation in person.
Right. But here's what happens too when he comes. Like, it's like I'm his personal chauffeur. I got to drive him around all over the place. Go to the liquor store for him. Everything. Oh, well, I guess that's. Well, it's Mel's birthday yesterday. That's right.
I know. Did you send him a text?
Yes, I did. I believe I did. Yes, Larry David.
All right, you send him a WhatsApp.
Yeah, WhatsApp is where we communicate. So I understand why he does it, but I feel like I'm communicating with a 12-year-old girl like on WhatsApp. It's like, isn't that wrong? Like, that's an easy thing to say.
Yeah, I probably want to reword that one. Walk that one back.
Well, yeah, you're right. Good point. You guys know what I meant. I mean, I feel like it's an adolescent thing to do, but
it feels childish.
That did come out.
It definitely did.
Oh.
But yeah, so our show, we have 3 episodes out in the first week. We hit the ground running, and we want to get more people subscribing and listening, and hopefully they love the show, because I listened to them again. We recorded them a while back, and to hear them over again, they're great. I'm fully entertained.
Yeah.
Tom, you're a very good host. We have some things we need to work on, but you're a good host.
Yeah, this is working. Okay, Peter Boyle, Susan.
No, who's that? That's just not even right. Susan Brooks. What can I write back?
Oh God, that's funny. Susan, that was a very good one. Good call by you.
She's got a picture of you and Gresh, right? Gresh is obviously her favorite player, right, Susan?
Well, she kind of flips back and forth. Yeah, like she acts like I'm her favorite, and then all of a sudden it's him. But then if Ron Duguay shows up, he's the favorite. So
we'll have Ron Duguay on the show. We taped a great episode with Ron, and that should be coming up.
That's right too. Did we talk about Sarah Palin? We didn't talk about Sarah Palin.
We did actually. We did talk about Sarah.
That's right too.
We talked about a lot of things with Ron. It'll be a great episode. People, we talk about how he got his haircut.
Yeah, they'll talk about how they use the same hair care products, him and Sarah. It's easier to travel that way.
Well, we talked about his rookie haircut, which was quite a story too.
That's good too. Yeah, he was not too happy about that. All right, Tom. All right, Peter Boyle. I like the Peter Boyle better than the Larry David.
I have so many, and I just hold back on you. But now I'm going to have to just unleash on these future episodes. But yeah, if anyone could come on, and we can be found on Spotify, Amazon, Google Podcasts, everywhere really. Please subscribe, listen to the show, leave us a review if you like to, and new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep. Here we go, Sean Connery. That's a good one. He's a handsome guy.
Well, you look like Sean Connery. Look, you got the little thing on the side there. Oh, that's the glow. That's your skincare glow.
What was it? Propecia or whatever?
Alopecia.
Oh God, that's terrible. That's not nice at all.
Well, I can't. But how about Katsi?
No, that's not happening. We're not getting Katsi on. No, it's not going to happen.
Really?
Oh no, we don't want to be censored by the CAA or FAA.
We'll have to have a production meeting on that one. Figure out if we should book him.
Right. Yeah, we've been contemplating having Phil on again. The way that last show went with Phil, I don't know if that's.
I think we should. We have the beauty of we can edit these, so that would help.
That's true. Well, we'd have to blank out the whole thing.
Well, then we do. A lot of beeps.
So I know people know this, but when Phil, I talked to Phil before the show, must have the show like 2 years ago or something. And Phil asked, he said, "Can I swear on the show?" And I said, "Well, you can a little bit, Phil." And I think the fans started keeping track of how many F-bombs. I think we're up over 200 F-bombs.
Nice. So. I think hopefully people listen to the Pierre episode and the Mick Vukota one. Mick Vukota was great. I posted a clip of him talking about how Coaster gave him advice to make the Capitals, and it didn't quite work for him. But people love that, and I think they should listen to the Malarchuk one. It was really powerful. Yeah,
like that one was. That really surprised me how emotional it was, how powerful it was, the stuff that he's gone through in his life, and he's very open and honest about all the things, how he's feeling, the mental health issues he's dealt with, the stuff he's done. He's got a good sense of humor too, because I poked fun of him when
Oh yeah, you get him with one. Well, people can listen to hear that one, but when they'll hear it, they'll probably cringe a little bit.
Yeah, I know. You were cringing over there when I said it,
Was.
but he got a kick out of it though. So
he did. He was great, and I think I spoke to a lot of Ranger fans about the Dakota episode, and they were like, "I won't listen to that Islander." Blah blah blah. I'm like, trust me, it's gonna be great. You're gonna like him. And I'm getting all these texts like, "Oh, he was awesome. He was awesome."
Yeah. What a storyteller! I didn't know he was a storyteller like that. We didn't have to say a word during the whole show. He could have talked for a full hour. Yeah,
he was great. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, he doesn't like Milbury either, right?" And I said, I don't think much of these guys we have on like Milbury, so that'll be a recurring theme throughout.
Yeah,
Milbury and Ted Sater.
Yeah, we all don't like Milbury. We all don't like Ted Sater. That's right too. Yeah.
So they hear that throughout.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Tom, Peter Boyle. Sean Connery. Larry David. I've seen enough of you.
You ever see when a hot dog gets microwaved too much?
What
it's like real pink.
It's a glow. It's a glow. Cold showers, right? Moisturize, hydrate properly. Sea moss, beta, collagen peptides. Avocado is also very good for your skin too. Avocado.
You won't go into a spa though because you're afraid of products.
Well, but that's like it's got a whole feminine. Like it's like I'm in there. I think I'm gonna be walking around with those white robes on and slippers, those white slippers.
Or go to like one of those dude spas.
Yeah, but they didn't have them. Everyone that you find around here, I did a search. Everyone that was around here was all the same. All like the flowers all over and probably like the scented candles and everything. Good Lord.
We'll find them. But anyway, people, again, please check out our new show. We'd love to have you listen to it. It's anywhere you find your podcast. Please subscribe, and new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.
All right. Thanks, Peter Boyle. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Planet of the Apes.
Oh, Peter Boyle is good. Everybody can come up with some more ones like so bald guys with the long hair on the sides. That's what we want to get. So Peter Boyle is excellent. So, Susan, no, that's a great question. Thank you. So this is I don't even know if we should be calling these shows podcasts. Isn't the like a real podcast just the audio version? And that's what the full change is. It's just the audio version. I guess the theory is that a lot of people listen to them in the car. And obviously, you don't want the visual in the car, so just the audio you want. So that's why we post them at 5 o'clock in the morning. Our research tells us that those are the best time between 2 and 5 in the morning. The best times to post the podcast. I guess again, people are getting in the car driving, and again, you don't have to listen to it right when it's aired. You can listen to it anytime you want. It's very Tom was very helpful. He as you know, we've done a lot of these shows and online here with Facebook and on my YouTube channel, but he's really come along and tried to really make it much more professional. As you see the mics and headsets, that's all him. We got the green screen behind us, so Tom's good. I give him a hard time, as he should, he deserves, but he's really intelligent man, very creative. So Patrick Stewart is another one. John, there you go. Oh, so update. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. So the trip to Latvia. So they were trying to send me emails. They were sending it to the wrong email address. So I reached out to them, and they said, "Sorry, Tom, we're trying to." So they've got somebody for Latvia. So I'm actually gonna have a call with the State Department. Figure that one. I have a call with the State Department, a young woman from the State Department on March 2nd, and we'll go over where the next trip is going to be. So I'm going to be an ambassador. I think it's something got to be an ambassador of sport at the State Department. So they get a really interesting program. This woman heads it up, where they go over, instead of dealing with governments, government to government, they go over there right to the people and try to show everybody that not all U.S. people are bad people. So I'll be the one that's the face of that project. Let me see here. Susan. Torch Best bench Travis Center, Calgary with family there. It's where he plays juniors. How'd you feel playing for a coach who would have done that? Not very good. And I think this is well documented. One of the main reasons is we don't like Ted Sater so much is the way he treated some of our teammates when he first got to the team. sending Mike Rogers, Nick Fotiu to Hartford, Glenn Hanlon to Adirondack, Pierre LaRouche to Hershey. It's just like a direct slap in the face. And those guys were all good players that should have been on the team and all friends of ours, doing really great team guys. And to send them to play, like Hartford was the Rangers farm team at the time, but those other guys, Hanlon and LaRouche, went to other teams' farm teams, that's just such a slap in the face. So, yes. So, odds Kane becoming a Ranger. Joe Lettuce. Well, it's interesting when they traded for Tarasenko, Kane came out and said how disappointed he was because he thought he was going to be heading to the Rangers. As if like that now it wasn't going to happen. But I've seen a few reports where people think it could still happen. Maybe there's less of a chance because you don't need him as much. But Yeah, I mean, odds are that'd be a tough one. I'll tell you, I like what Drury's done. I think he's right from day one when he took over the team, doing what he needed to do to get the team more gritty and tougher. Working with the cap, the trades he's made, getting rid of goaltender. So, I like what he's done. And obviously was a huge fan of Gerard Gallant. So I think he's done some great stuff. What else are we gonna tell you? So true. Oh, the dance. We need to get going on the dance. Susan Brooks, where's your dance video? I know Mark Pottenvink has done one. Deb has done one. Deb Minershagen Anderson has done one. Thank you very much, Deb. Who else has done one? Lorraine has done one as well. And again, don't worry about how you look in it. Again, if you want somebody to deflect watching my video, they'll laugh at that one. That's all. They can laugh and make fun of me. We just want to raise awareness for the Garden of Dreams. I am going to be out in Long Island tonight. Where am I going in Long Island tonight? Hold on 1 second. All right. Where am I going? I'll find out. It's in Jackie DiPiazza sent the email to me. Where's the wonderful Jackie DiPiazza's email? She's friends with me, not with Larry Mellon. Freeport Recreation Center at 5 o'clock. So what happens with most of these clinics, the local hockey program there, they'll get all their teams together to be on the ice, like usually 2, sometimes 3 different sessions back to back. So go out there, skate with them, talk to them a little bit, sign some autographs, get some pictures taken. So again, I'll be at the Freeport Recreation Center, 5 o'clock today. Right, driving the Yukon with the new engine in it. Worked great. Went up to Binghamton, which is about a 3-hour drive. Worked fantastic. It's like having a new vehicle. So, let me see. Susan's got the lineup all ready to go here. Once the Kane trade is, let me see. If the Rangers get Kane, they could move Missy to the 4th line. Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably what they're thinking. Yeah. All right. So here's another way of looking at this too. So if you don't want to do a dance, so again, we go back to the Ice Bucket Challenge. So the idea was to raise awareness for ALS, was the charity at the time. So we're trying to raise awareness for Garden of Dreams so people can donate or do whatever. If you don't want to do the dance, then I guess, yeah, right. You can go to the link that's in my Facebook page and in my bio and my Instagram page, and you can make a donation there. And let me know that you've done that, because I'm going to give people a hard time for not dancing. But if you're going to make a donation, then you don't have to dance. You can do both if you want to. So again, we're Freeport Recreation Center today at 5 o'clock until 8 o'clock. Stop by. Everybody except Ira can go there. And then that Sunday, we will be at Madison Square Garden at the Hulu Center, the Hulu, whatever they call that, the Hulu. So there's something special going on, but they're going to have a whole bunch of police officers, like 400 or 500 police officers there. I can't remember what's happening, example, but we're going to be there before the game. Myself, Ron Greshner, and Stefan Matteau. Stefan Matteau's a good guy. We become buddies all the time here. Really good guy. He's got a big heart. There's a lot of things for kids. Funny guy too. So again, that's on Sunday. Then on Monday, we'll be going back up to Bolton Ice Pavilion, which I missed last Monday because of my back. Hulu Theater. That's right. Thanks, Susan Brooks. I knew you knew. So we'll be there Sunday before the game. I think 3 o'clock to 4:15 at the Hulu Theater with a whole bunch of police officers. I guess we're making a presentation or something to the police officers at that point. Then Monday back up to Bolton, the Ice Pavilion up there. And then on Tuesday, Adam Graves and I, they have some fun stuff they do at the Garden where they can't give awards. They give Rockstar Awards to people that work at Madison Square Garden, and they have an event for them. So Adam Graves and I will be at that event on that's Tuesday. Okay, so it'll be fun. Got some busy stuff going on here. Hulu Theater, yes, thank you, Susan. And on Thursday, it's Thursday the 2nd, I think it is. Yes, we'll be talking to the State Department, the United States government State Department, figuring out where they're going to send me to be the ambassador of sport. Yeah, can you believe that? All right. Barry Shelley, pretty sure. Well, Tom's a vegan, for God's sake. Peter Boyle's a vegan, which is fine, but when we run to the store and say, listen, give me vegan food. No, it's like going into this spas. They get the infrared sauna, and then I gotta get my lips injected with whatever that stuff is. Dude, I'll be careful. The whole lip injection thing. Huh. Oh, you're a vegetarian. What did I call you? A vegetarian? Fall script when you talk to State Farm. Oh, yes, I think, no, like, you just got to have a little fun. You got to improvise a little bit. As long as they know, they've got to know my personality. I mean, you'd think that the U.S. government would do their homework and watch some of my shows and stuff that I do, know that I improvise once in a while. Oh, God. Where am I going to take me? Man, I was looking forward to the Latvia thing, but there's a lot of issues. Let's go to South America someplace. Come back. Oh, goodness. That'd be fun going to South America. Hey, Barry, don't be falling into these traps saying that I'm cheap. Yeah. Remember, boys and girls, it's better to ask for forgiveness and permission. Doug's tip of the day. I like that. We should have a special segment on this show Thursday. Have a Doug's tip of the day. All right. So we want that every day, every Thursday. Okay. Dougie DeVito, Larry Melnick's best friend. Yeah, Jesus. Peter Boyle. I like the Peter Boyle one for Tom Smith. That's pretty good. And he calls himself Tommy Smith too. Like, come on, it's Tom. You're an adult. What you're thinking about, Tommy Smith? Oh goodness, you get it, leader. There you go, Dougie DeVito. Did you ever? I know you posted kind of a pseudo dance video, Doug, on your messages, but I don't think you posted an actual dance video. Susan Brooks, right there. She could be the GM of the New York Rangers. Drew's doing a fine job, but kind of a well, I guess it's okay to tell the story. I don't know if you guys. Brian Gersh was helping me with getting started in all my social media and everything years ago. And he got busy with other stuff, families. He had 3 fantastic daughters and a fantastic wife. His wife's brother, obviously his brother-in-law, Alex Wall, used to work for the New York Rangers as an intern, I believe. And unfortunately, he got about a month and a half or 2 months ago, got in a skiing accident and hit a tree, and now is paralyzed from the neck down. So I think I'm going to go, and Adam Graves is going to go. We think we maybe try to get together to both go at the same time. I really learned a lot about the message that's been sent to him. It's obviously very hard. The doctors go by science, and families obviously, distraught and sad and everything. I think it's really important to send the message to him that the thought process in his mind has to be that he is going to get out of that bed and he's going to walk. So that's the message I want to send to him. And so in this, Bruce, so he's setting up that I'll talk to the family as well to just say, listen, when you walk in that room, you have got to send the message to him that he's walking. He knows you love him. You don't need to be crying for him and all that kind of stuff. It's send the message to him. And I really believe in that more and more. That, again, I'm not disputing science and damage to the spine, whatever happened to him, but I just really believe that you keep telling yourself over and over that you're not going to walk, then you won't. If you keep telling yourself over and over that you will, then you've got a better chance of getting up out of that bed. So again, sad story that he's going through right now, but we're going to make sure we pump him up and make sure he believes that he can get out of that bed and walk. So, but as usual, Adam Graves being such a good guy. I guess he knew him when he worked for the Rangers, but he wants to go too. So get that done. Let me see here. If Larry is a family member, what member would he be? Father, grandfather, brother, etc. Larry Melnick or Larry David? I like the Larry David thing. Peter Boyle's pretty good too. Sean Connery's too. Like, he's good looking man. That's too much of a compliment. You can't do that. Larry Melnick, family. What member would he be? I'd say he would be the. I think he'd be the grouchy uncle. Yeah, that's what he'd be. Uncle Larry, and he'd be known to be the grunchy guy. So everybody. Pat, he'd be a Pat. What? Good one, Barry. Good job. Oh, yeah. Hold on. What Pat? So he would be the old dog waddling around. The heavy set dogs, the short little legs, and the slobber coming out of their face and everything. That'd be, I can't remember what they're called. That'd be Larry Melnick right there. So they get that look in their face like they're just miserable. That's definitely Larry Melnick. Yep. I was thinking about something there too. Okay, well, think about a lot of things. Boxer, yeah, it could be a boxer. Yeah, Barry, thank you. Yeah, English bowl, something like that. You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of things. A Beethoven. Is Beethoven a dog? Am I missing something there? I fully could, Susan. I didn't know if you were joking or is that Beethoven? Isn't that the producer or whatever, the artist, classical artist? Beethoven. Oh. Saint Bernard. Saint Bernard could be it. Yes. Bulldogs. Yep. Very good. Everybody's got to go to Deb's video, see her dancing there too. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Had a I talked about this before. Movie Dog Who Slobbers. Oh, Beethoven. Oh, okay. Yes, the movie Beethoven. Okay. In case people missed it yesterday, great friend of mine, Brian Berard's mother. Brian Berard was a client of mine. Went through a lot of stuff with him and his family. And his mother, tough, fantastic person, huge heart. She was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago, and she's at home now with her family. Things are not going too well for her. So we want to send out our best wishes to her. She's a fantastic human being. I ever met her, know like she's fiery, right? She's got the cigarettes going, and she wasn't afraid to drop a few F-bombs herself. And but she battled. I don't think she minds. There's some procedures that the doctors had recommended that she take. She just wouldn't do it. And not that she wasn't quitting by any means, but I'm going to go out my way. And I totally admire her for it. So we exchanged text messages the other day. So she's a good person, fantastic person. Yep. Great mother. And Wally, her husband, the father, great guy too, but he's that guy, when he was younger, so I'm not trying to paint a picture. He still do it, but he was known for driving motorcycles into bars and all this kind of stuff. So they're a tough family. They're from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, real blue collar people. A lot of fun though. They die for you. If you're part of their group, they die for you. So yes, very good. What was I trying to forget about that? Alexander Ovechkin. Is that why he left the team? Right? Because his father. Okay. So again, going to Freeport hot ice, whatever, some rink, a recreation center, Freeport Recreation Center. Tonight we'll be there at 5:00. So as soon as we get done with the show, we'll jump in the car, go fill up the Yukon with some gas. It does love gas. Yes, Jill, I was yelled at. So thank you for welcoming me back. Yeah, we had gotten really busy with the Full Change podcast. We've got about 35 shows done, 33 some shows done already. So those started last Thursday it was. No, what is today? Today's Thursday. So it was last Thursday. We started with Pierre LaRouche. Then we had Mick Fakota from the Islanders on Tuesday. And today we had Clint Malarchuk. And again, not just because it's our podcast, but I'm telling you, like the Malarchuk is part of it may make you cry. The stuff he went through, but also it's going to be like the stuff he's doing now to help other people. Just a fantastic guy. Pretty funny too. So again, that's Full Chain Podcast. So the idea with the podcast is right now it's just all hockey players. We will branch out to other people, whatever business people that has been successful in life or whatever, or gone through things. And the idea is we talk about growing up, then reaching in this case, their NHL careers, and then what they've done since the game. And really amazing, of these 30 some shows that we've done, 4 guys had tried to commit suicide. And they're very open about talking about it, how they felt. There's mental health issues, really strong men. And in every case of those 4 guys, they're now helping other people as well. So some great guys. So that is, those are airing every Tuesday and every Thursday at 5:00 in the morning. Those air. We did some scientific studying and realized those are the best times between 2 and 5 in the morning. It's the best times to launch podcasts. Scientific studying is what we did. Okay. That's what I do. And okay. So we had a big discussion yesterday with Rich Gabberty about going to the infrared sauna. And I very well planned on going. I got online and every one of these places were like, it's like, I was going to be walking around in a white robe with little white furry slippers on or something like that. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't find any place. It was just like, just give me the normal stuff. Like, it's all like getting your lips redone and your butt implants and all these kinds of things. Like they had the list of services, and I was like, I'm not walking in there. I can't do it. Rich Gabberty, he's a funny man. Yes, very motivated guy. He's a really interesting story where Rich and I do a show together at 10 o'clock on Wednesday mornings. And that he wanted to coach hockey. I guess he wanted to coach because of his kids, but didn't know anything about um, hockey at all. So he really just taught himself about the game, taught himself how to skate. And he was really good in that. Yes, he wanted to know the X's and O's, but really like helping young men and women have better lives, like life lessons and everything. So really good guy. The back is better now. I'm okay. I'm going to go against my good friend Mark Puttenvig. He wanted me to ice my back down to get, I guess, get the inflammation down or whatever. It just every time I did that, my back tightened up more. So I just more hot showers and maybe a couple of vodkas and cranberries help too. But it's all loosened up now, so we're much better. So again, we're going to Freeport, Long Island today from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock. And those are fun things now too, because I've learned more about like it's really an opportunity to be in front of the kids and try to teach them some life lessons too. So those are a lot of fun and rewarding, and the ice with them as well. So again, we got that tonight. We're at the Hulu Theater at 3 o'clock before the Ranger game. And again, there's a bunch of police officers there. I'm not quite exactly sure what we're doing with them. And I'm on Monday back up to Bolton, Connecticut, where I had to miss because of my bad back up there on Monday night. And then Tuesday, Adam Graves and I will be at, I can't remember this. The Rangers, Madison Square Garden does this where they thank or they honor, they call it the Rockstar Awards, with a bunch of people working at Madison Square Garden. So they give them awards and everything. I've been to those before. It's very funny. A lot of good stuff. So it's people that never get recognized for anything hardly. And now all of a sudden that the Rangers put on a good show for them. So it is fun. Last time I was at this big basketball player that was there too, and Sam Rosen got up and spoke. So just the fact that he's up there speaking to them, I think really meant a lot to people. So, yes, it was. That's a fantastic trip. So again, the Larry Pierce and his wife Christine have a 200-acre farm there. He's very successful. He played hockey at Cornell, and he's in the demolition business now, and he's a brilliant guy. Like when he obviously gets paid to tear down these buildings, but then he tries to use as much of the stuff, the leftovers from the buildings, to do a lot of things. Like he's got this 200-acre farm where he's constantly he's building new roads on the farm, built new buildings, built the outdoor rink, full-size rink with the chiller and everything. So the neighbors weren't too happy about some of the traffic coming in. So again, he bought more land and then built another road so it wouldn't interfere with the neighbors. He's got that attitude too. We talked a lot on Saturday. He's really got that attitude, like the can-do attitude. Like if some of his workers try to do something, then they come back to him and say, "I can't do it." He just doesn't accept that. He says, "No, there's always a way to find to get it done," and he does. He's a brilliant guy. So he has. There's games played there and other rinks around, but this ASHA, American Special Hockey Association, Jen O'Brien runs that. I was up there last year, up there this year. Fantastic weekend. Again, all kids with special needs. And some adults, but more kids. And the coaches are great. There's a lot of coaches just volunteering their time, and you got to be very patient. Obviously, it's not like regular hockey or youth sports. We were trying to teach them a whole lot. It's more about making sure they're having fun, and the kids are pretty motivated too. Like they really want to go and do well. So it's a lot of fun. It is pretty rewarding because I've been to a few of these things now. So some of the kids are the same people, so they get excited when they see you again. So a lot of fun doing that. Yeah, it's one of those events when. Again, when you leave, you probably get more out of it than the kids did. So very rewarding. Let me see. Oh, okay. I was going to talk about Dougie DeVito. So I'm the same. Call it the Larry Melnick Awards. I would not do that to somebody to call Larry Melnick Awards. That's nice. So I think it was Dougie DeVito came up with the idea. We should do a show. We'll get you guys on with me. We'll get 2 or 3 at a time. I think we can do a max of 4 people on the show, 4 or 5. I can't remember. And So we're going to start doing that. So I'll send out a notice before who wants to go on. Anybody that wants to go on now, like send in the messages on the side here. Tell me who wants to go on the next show next Thursday. So we'll start doing that. We can go on for the full show. You do it half an hour, whatever you want to do. If you've got things you want to promote, you just want to have some fun, we can do that too. Let's see here. Let's see. What's a pirate's favorite letter? R. Except when they go to sea. A good life lesson is to not care what other people think and to not be self-conscious about stuff. For example, wearing a white bathrobe. I didn't know where you were going with that one. Susan sometimes just rips into me, like subtly too. It's like dangerous. Like you don't know you're getting stabbed. She does it, and it's just like there's no pain. It's just death. It's just over. Did you wish Larry a happy birthday? Of course I did, Jessica. I think I did. Okay, so Dougie DeVito is going to be on the show next week. So Dougie, direct message. You got to direct message me your email address. How this works, we use technology called StreamYard. So very easy to use. You just need to have a Chrome or Firefox browser on your computer. That's the best. You can do it on your cell phone, but it's best to be on a computer. Best to be someplace where the lighting is in your face, not in your back, because then it just creates a shadow. And I think that's it. So your sound and everything doesn't have to be perfect, but the more professional we can do it, the better. So you send me your email. So if we're going to be at 2:00, we're 1:45. I'll send you an email with a link. Pretty simple. You click on the link and it pretty much guides you right through. It takes about 30 seconds to get on. So Doug DeVito is going again. We'll cap it at 3 additional people, myself and 3 others. So Dougie's one. We need 2 more volunteers to be on next Thursday. Have some fun. Again, don't feel like you have to be on the whole time. You can do a half hour, drop on. For some reason you're late, we can get the show started at 2:00, and then we can always plug you in later on. Lorraine, are you coming on? Does that mean? Let me see here. Does that mean you're coming on, Lorraine? Should be fun. It sounds like she's volunteering. Let me see. Dougie V, should be. It should be fun. Get me on, and you have to walk me through it. Okay, so I will be here to walk you through it. But again, it's really simple. As long as you're going to receive an email. And you have the Chrome or Firefox browser on your preferably laptop computer. You could do an iPad. Phone works, but it's not as good. So as long as you got those browsers, then you just click that link and it'll walk you right through. There's only like 2 or 3 other steps to get on. So, where's Deb? Deb, did I miss? Oh, Deb, yes. I missed you. Sorry, Deb. Thanks, Barry, for pointing that out. So Deb is going to be coming on as well from Oklahoma. Some of you are Oklahoma. I can't remember. So again, we got Dougie DeVito. Deb's coming on with us. That's 2. We need 2 more. We can do it with just 3 of us. That's fine. But if we have room for 2 more. Put it that way. Larry Melnick should write in saying that he'll do it. Omaha. That's right. Sorry, Deb. Yes, I apologize. I knew that. That's my mistake. And my friend Tracy. Has she volunteered to get on? My friend Tracy. Sure, Dougie. Your friend's Larry Melnick, all right? Stop now. I haven't seen Tracy on here today, so I don't know if she is. I'll see it after the show. It's for these. So all the question and comments come up on the side here. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 comments in a row. As new comments come in, they come in at the bottom. Some of them moved up. So sometimes people have commented and I don't see it any longer on the side of my screen here. So that's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. Friend Tracy. Yeah, get Tracy on. I hope she's in a good mood. Oh no, we hope she's in a bad mood. She comes on the show. She just rips into me sometimes. Ruthless. Her way of digging in is different than Susan. Susan's kind of got, like that little, she slides it in there. You don't know what's coming. And then she slides it in there and she's digging. Tracy's more like just right at you, like the snowplow coming right at you. Let's get Mr. Happy on again. Larry Melnick. He actually did a podcast, a Full Change podcast with us. Very good. Very funny. He was the typical guy that he is on the show here. But again, it's just him and I talking. And Peter Boyle chirps in every once in a while. But okay, so you guys have seen Tom Smith. He's wearing a hat all the time. But who would you think more it looks like? Larry David, Peter Boyle, not Sean Connery. That's like a compliment because he's a good-looking gentleman. We'll go with Peter Boyle, right? I'll keep looking to see if I can find other people, but Peter Boyle. Oh goodness. What else is happening here? We got the dance is going on. So Deb danced. We need to get more people dancing. And again, like Deb said, if you really just don't want to dance, if you can't do it, we want you to dance because it's for a good cause, raise awareness for the Garden of Dreams. But in lieu of dancing, we can go to the Garden of Dreams link that is in my bio on my Instagram and at the top of my page on my Facebook profile. Pin that. See, it's amazing I know all this stuff now. Like when I first started all this stuff, like pinning something, I wouldn't know what that is. But now I know to pin something, it stays at the top of your page. Exciting stuff. Yes. Jill Solomon. The podcast is only audio. I've been told for a long time that that's really where the successful podcasts go, because a lot of people listen to them in the car. So obviously they don't need the visual, or shouldn't have a visual. And after meeting Tom again, I tease him and everything, but very intelligent guy, very creative, really knew what he was doing. So we're our big goal. It was amazing. We were, after the first show, we were number 1 in Spain, hockey videos in Spain. So we've dropped to number 2. So we don't know why that is the case, but well, yeah. Yeah, thank you, Jessica. Yep, Pierre was good, and he held back a little bit too. You know, Pierre's got quite a personality, and so he did hold back. Yeah, she can do both. Yep. So, but yeah, we've just gone with the audio, and they've been a lot of fun. Again, great. So the idea is that one more time is that maybe not one more time, based on the way I tell stories. Look different on radio. Oh, Barry's on fire today. That's good. I like that. Good job, Barry. You look different on radio. Yeah. So the premise of the show is that we talk to these athletes about how they grew up, started playing hockey, what their life was like, how was it playing in the NHL for them, and what they've done since. And there's some guys who just blended into the society after it's done, and it's kind of funny. It's either like, oh no, nothing. I just went home and got to work, and other guys really had hard times with it. Like we said, the four of the people that we've talked to have tried to commit suicide. So of those 4 guys, all great stories of coming back, really changing their lives and helping other people. Richie Pilon was unbelievable. Clint Malarchuk, the one that was out today, is a great one as well. Really a very thoughtful guy, very open. All those guys are very open to talking about their mental health issues, which is important. We talked about that before. Get rid of that stigma, and they talked about how they had the mental health issues, and they didn't really know at first that they had them. But even once they found out about it, if they're still playing in the NHL, they realized they could not come out and talk about it because they get blackballed. That's not the NHL's fault. I'm not blaming anybody. It's getting better than it was before, but it was just that. Yeah, I mean, as a teammate back when we played, if somebody told you they had a mental health issue, we just so uneducated about it. We would have thought the guy's nuts, which is so untrue. It is more our lack of education about the subject was the problem, and still is the problem. But again, you can't really blame anybody for it. It's just that, once you start delving in the mental health world more, you start to realize there's nothing wrong with the entire person. He or she has a mental health issue that they have to deal with. And the more we can help them with that and make them feel like there is nothing wrong with them except this issue, then the better off everybody will be. So, let me see here. Only you would know he held back his listener, Pierre Kim Crest. Yeah, but good point, Joel. You're right. You're right, because I knew him so well. He's just when he tells stories, he's got that French accent going and everything, and he's quite a character. But yeah, he was fine on the podcast. More than fine. He's great. Yeah. Yeah, Barry, we do have Jim Thompson. His show's already been done, and we'll be playing at some point here soon. But yeah, so Jim Thompson is Barry knows him well. Jim Thompson, I guess he played up there in Utica or Binghamton or something. I think it was Binghamton he played, and so he's a great story. When I was just retiring from the game, he was coming in with the LA Kings. Tough guy, right winger, and he talks openly too about the situation. He got himself in trouble, alcohol and drugs, and again, great guy now. He's helping other kids, but these guys that have gone through stuff, they're really open about talking. They realize how important it is to talk about their situation. So yeah, yes, we will try to have Gresh on at some point. We haven't had him on a show in a long time. Susan, does Washington or Pittsburgh? Hard to believe if either one of those teams don't make it, right? With the players of Ovechkin and Crosby. I'm going to go that Washington makes it more. Again, that would be strange to see. I guess would that be the first time that Crosby has not made the playoffs? I don't know. Yes. How do we listen to the Pierre podcast? So they have these things called apps, Dougie. So if you go, I go to I listen to mine on. Let me look at the app that I get. So it's just is it iTunes podcast? That's where I watch. But there's a lot. I would say they have this thing called Google. I would just type in podcast, and They'll show you all the different places to go to get the podcast. It's all free. You charge nothing. You don't have to pay or anything. Not that you wouldn't mind paying because you're a wealthy man. So that's where you can find them. Did we speak with Barry Beck? Yes, I spoke to Barry Beck when he was here. The problem above it is our time difference. So we'd like to get him on the show. Barry, listen, I speak about it now because Barry was very open in discussing his addiction, and he apparently is doing much better now. But it would have been hard to have him on. When we saw him here in New York, we came in for the golf tournament. It would have been hard to have him on a podcast. It just wouldn't be fair to him. We had Brian Propp on as well. Brian Propp suffered from a stroke. And so he was on, and for the most part, he's good. But, you tell there's still some lingering effects from the stroke. So he was able to, he's got a fun personality, kind of pokes fun at himself and too. But interesting to him, too, we had Bernie Nichols on. Jim Kite was another really interesting one, too. I knew Jim Kite, remember, the big defenseman, played mainly for Winnipeg. Tough guy. I knew he had a hearing problem, but he's basically deaf. So when we did the show together, I had to make sure, now I've got my lips behind the microphone. I had to lower the microphone down. He's doing lip reading over the show. Really, but he gets into really talking about how it was hereditary. So his father was deaf. Deaf may be the wrong word. Had a hearing issue. His brothers, I think 2 or 3 brothers, all had hearing issues. And they would sit at the dinner table, and the mother, who did not have hearing issues, would make them use proper grammar, because sometimes you see people that have a hearing issue can't speak the words properly. They can't hear themselves speaking. So she would make them, there's no crutches. You weren't going to feel sorry for yourself. She would make them say things properly and really kind of set the tempo that, hey, listen, you got a hearing issue. That doesn't mean that your life is any less than anybody else's. And that's the way, and he's a really interesting guy too. So a lot of really interesting stories about guys that I didn't know about. Obviously I like doing the shows with guys that I know, but when I do a show with a guy like the Jim Kite that I really didn't know him at all, played against him, but I really learned some stuff about him that you didn't understand. So let me see here. Let me see. Lou Vero would be great. Yes. Yeah, that's a good call, Barry. Lou Vero has worked for USA Hockey for many years. He's quite a storyteller. He's going through a lot of stuff too with USA Hockey. So it's a good call by you. We're going to try to get people on, Bill Burr, the comedian. Him and I are friends. It's not like we're best buddies, but let me see here. Andre Dore. Yes, Andre Dore would be fantastic. I don't think his wonderful wife that I know very well, because Andre and I played each other, she's going through a tough time right now. He's basically her caregiver. So it's hard to really, I don't even want to try to, take him away from that right now. It's tough on the whole family, but she's a fantastic person. He's been I saw him at an event, I guess it's during the summer, and he's just, what a gentleman he is. We call him the governor. He have him on the show. It'd be funny. Just ask him one question, he'll talk for a full hour. So, yeah. Bernie would fans. Let me see. Bernie would let fans sit in his Jaguar after Ranger practice at Rye. I was there to witness his green Jag. Yeah, Bernie liked the fur coats and the Jag and all that kind of stuff. So we did a show with Bernie as well. It was good. We got into a discussion about Bernie Nichols. Brian Propp did the same thing about them being in the Hall of Fame, and go over all their numbers and show how, this most recent induction ceremony, they had Daniel Alfredson, for example. And both those guys, with Propp and Bernie Nichols, have almost identical, if not better, numbers than Alfredson. Now, that's not a knock on Alfredson by any means. It's just more of a statement that those guys should probably be in the Hall of Fame as well. So these podcasts have been great. I've really been kind of pleasantly surprised. Getting guys like Craig Ludwig that played for Craig Ludwig that played for a long time, Montreal, Dallas. So it's funny because we'd never met each other, kind of played the same kind of game. And when we start talking, we were down in Dallas for the alumni game we played, and he was obviously there. And then when we came to the podcast, it's funny to tell stories about crashing motorcycles. We both did that. Us both liking to drink our beers. And he's a good guy. It was funny when we were like brothers from a different mother, for God's sake. So, what's your favorite of the old arenas to play in? What was your favorite of the old arenas playing? So, it's I've been asked this a few times, and it's interesting. It was the old St. Louis Checkerdome that we didn't play in that often. My rookie year, we went on a real good playoff run, beat LA, beat St. Louis, ultimately lost to the Rangers, to the Islanders in the semifinals. They were going on to win their second cup. And my playoffs, it was really good for me. I learned a lot. I played well. My confidence was high. And I think some of the best hockey I played was against the St. Louis Blues. There was a physical series. And I guess that's some memories I've had of playing some good games in there. So that is the arena. I'll tell you, my first NHL game was the Boston Bruins. Boston Garden was a place I hated because I scored my own goal. Scored on JD and our own goal in my first NHL game. So that would have to be my worst memories going back there. So, yes. Let me see. Yes, talking about Lou Vero, I assume here. Yeah, so Lou Vero, worked with Herb Brooks. Yeah, Lou Vero was one of those guys that was never like, I don't think he was never in full command of USA Hockey, but he was always there. Very patriotic guy. Like he was always. So I played with two brothers, Walt and John Kyle from Waterloo, Iowa, and they knew Lou well. I think Lou coached them in Waterloo. I think that's what the relationship was. So obviously I got to know Lou through those guys, and he was all very patriotic. So I was, born and raised in Canada, had a Canadian citizenship, but I had a green card here in the U.S. And Lou was great. He wasn't like lecturing me, but he was just saying, Tom, you're played here, married to a U.S. woman. Your boys are, born in the U.S. You should really consider becoming a U.S. citizen. And I never disagreed with him. I just one of the things, I'll do it tomorrow, and never did it. And then when 9/11 happened, I realized I stopped back to all the stuff he'd said to me. I said, yeah, you're right. I've got to get my citizenship. So, and that was a great thing. It was a great process to go through. Really learned a lot about the country. I was in Connecticut when I did it, so I had to go up to Hartford. And I believe it was a judge put on a presentation talking about what it meant to be a U.S. citizen. Very emotional. Very, it was great. Really means a lot to me to be a U.S. citizen. And I don't think I'm sure there's lots of people born in the U.S. that are proud to be a U.S. citizen as well. But I think when you go through that process of the naturalization, you're forced to be educated more about it. So, yeah, it was good. I'm glad I did that. Johnny. Let me see here. Dougie's got a question for us. Who had the best one-liners of all the opposing players you played against? Man, there's some good stuff. John McClain was good. I talked to Garth Butcher before in Vancouver. He said to Kenny Baumgartner one time. Kenny was a great guy too. And Kenny got mono playing out in LA. And it was right in front of the benches. And I don't do it justice the way I say it, but they were going back and forth. And Butcher says to him, he says, only you are stupid enough to get mono playing out in Los Angeles. And the way he delivered it and everything. Again, John McClain was good. I was in LA. He's with the Devils, and we were going back and forth, yapping each other. And I said, who he had the C on his jersey. I said, who did you suck up to? I use mother language to get the C on your jersey. He turns to me, he says, who did you suck up to still be playing in the National Hockey League? It's one of those ones where he said, I was like, okay, really can't do too much with that. He got me in that one, and I'd set him up for it. So yeah, there's a good lot. I mean, so many guys were good. Referees were funny. Linesmen were funny. It was the one-liners. I tell you, that's part of playing in the National Hockey League. If you're going to participate in one-liners and be a smart ass, you better have some good stuff because some guys are pretty good too. Yep, we'd like to have JD on as well. And that could happen. We had him on one of our other shows. I think that's when he was with the Rangers though. So it's sometimes guys have a little, even though this is not a Ranger podcast that I'm doing, I'm still a former Ranger to most people, right? I mean, yes, I'm a former King. Some people have a little bit of an issue with that. Don Maloney, I'd love to have on too. Don and I were roommates together. He's working with Calgary. And I remember talking to Dave, his brother, about that. And it wasn't like he was adamant about not doing it, but he's kind of concerned, like, if you say the wrong thing in somebody else's podcast, so you're not doing it. You know who we're going to have on is Don Murdoch. I'm sure you've heard all the little stories about Don. Don's really cleaned up his life now, a whole different person. And he was hesitant at first because he didn't really want to revisit all the things that he'd gone through. It's more who he is now, and that's what we're going to do with him. We'll touch on some stuff a little bit. But we're not going to get into all the details about stuff that happened to him. So, yes, Dougie DeVito, Knuckles is on. We've got a show done with him. He's an interesting show too, right? Everybody's heard his story and listened to him talk. He's very open about his past and the troubles he got himself in. He's got his own podcast. We haven't done this one yet, but if anybody follows, there's a guy by the name of Terry Ryan. He got a really interesting his own podcast up in Canada. I'm going to be on his show. He'll be on ours. We did the same thing with Ludwig. He has his own podcast out of Dallas there. I was on his, and he is on ours. We haven't aired it yet. Who else we got? A bunch of guys. Some other guys that like Jake Caulfield would be good to have on. Yeah. Jake, who we're talking to is think it's Mick Vukota on his show. I think we're talking about. Oh no, it was Grant Jennings. You have Grant Jennings on too. Grant Marshall was another good one. Grant Marshall played with Dallas, the Devils, Toronto briefly, but he's interesting. He was on that Dancing with the Blades of what is it? The show up in Canada that's basically Dancing with the Stars, and actually the woman he danced with is now his wife. But he's a good storyteller too. We talked about Grant Jennings was interesting. When you brought up Jay Caulfield there, Jay Caulfield was a great guy. He played here in New York, really fantastic person, great teammate. And Jay was as tough as nails. He had a hard time standing up. He never played much hockey. He was a football player. So he wasn't that good of a skater. He would be okay in fights. He'd just fall down. And they talked about that a little bit too. So some great stories. Those old guys. I think Grant Jennings might have been having a few beers during the show too. But so he's getting going pretty good. Who else do we have? Guys like Doug Brown, Jay Langdon. We did a show. Darren Langdon. Jay's his wife's name. Yes, Anthony Carlucci, Pat LaFontaine would be a good show. What we're seeing is that these guys typically are very good storytellers, really get into telling the old stories. Rick Middleton was on, and he's got a nickname, Soki. And he says, I can't tell you what that nickname is. I said, oh, yeah, you can tell us. I tell him, he told us why he got the name Soki. So you'll like it when you guys hear the stories about stuff like that. So former referee Paul Stewart. Yes, we are going to try to have him on. We missed him. But Kurt Russell might be interested now. Yeah. Get Goldie Hawn on, too. Get Goldie Hawn on there. See, you saw Tom Laidlaw naked in the locker room. Should probably go. Not much to see there. All right, guys, I've got to get going because I got to get to Freeport, Long Island. Great show. Again, we're going to do this every Thursday. So far, we've got Susan Brooks and Deb Mesringhausen is on. So you guys send me your email addresses on direct message. Then again, I will send you a link at 1:45. So make sure you remind me to do it. Stay on that. This is something different. So sometimes we do something different like that. It takes me a little bit while to get going. So, all right, guys, have a great night. We'll talk to you next week.